What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Parkway Drive. Yes, indeed, Parkway Drive fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Connor, and this is actually Connor's prioritized request for the month of September for being a Silver Tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Connor. Hope you enjoy the show. Connor wanted to see me react to this. It is Parkway Drive with a tune called Deliver Me. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Epitaph Records, all right? And the video has 408,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Parkway Drive, Deliver Me, full album stream. Yeah, I've done a couple of reactions to this stream, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, or maybe it's just been one. It was a one or two. I'm not sure, but this isn't my first time on this stream, so cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Deliver me!
Okay. Right into it.
From the darkest of nights, from the depths of eternal rise, grasping at the threads of sanity, no matter what's that slipped on my hands. I say the light, I say the heart. I see a farewell cruise by the weight of the world. I say the light, I say the end. I see a farewell cruise by the weight of the world. Crushed by the weight of the world. My will is broken. My will is broken. The king always sinking. The sands of time forever slipping. Glowing at the empty night. But a ghost I reach towards the end. Lost in darkness, lost in time. Losing a grip on my fucking mind. Ignorance is in the deep frame. In the end, it takes everything. Binds me and it binds me. Illuminate the planes of consciousness. Chokes my throat and gnaws my bones.
And right back to where we were. Okay. I mean, you're not gonna get bored listening to this. I can guarantee you that. There's a lot happening as far as changes in feel and changes in tempo. When we're in that really heavy halftime feel, we're at one tempo. And then when we shifted gears into that double time feel, we sped up to get into a tempo that would fit that double time feel. And then from that double time feel, we were there for a bit, and then we switched to straight time for like 2 measures before we went back down to halftime again at that faster tempo. And now we've grinded back down to the original tempo we started out at. All within the time span of less than 2 minutes. Now, look, I have been very critical of bands who change around feel. I mean, I love it when bands change feel. I love it when bands do that. I love it when bands play with feel. When it's not overly done and it serves a purpose. Okay, now, does this serve a purpose? Okay, I understand the reason for speeding up the tempo to go into that double time feel, because they wanted it to be faster. I get that. I understand that. Switching to the straight time feel, I don't understand that whatsoever, because they were only there for 2 measures. 2 measures, maybe 4 tops. I don't think it made it to 4. And then we went to the halftime feel at that faster tempo. I think we were there for about 8 measures before we dropped back down to the slow grind tempo again. I do feel like the straight time was a bit of a waste. I feel like they could have just switched to the halftime and it would have been just fine, because switching to the straight time, they didn't stay long enough for it to really serve any purpose. They didn't really stick around long enough for it to have any real impact on the song. It was just a fleeting thing. It just, oh, here we are, and now we're gone. You know, it was literally that quick. So I question the validity of that section. I really do. It makes me wonder, why did they even bother? Everything else makes sense. I understand the reasoning for everything else, including the actual changes in tempo. I get that. But that one straight time section for just 2 measures makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, let's keep going here. See that? That makes sense. Well, wait, did the song end? Huh. It did end. Okay. I meant to push the space bar to hit the pause, and it ended up turning into play. Oops, timing was a little off there. Well, since the song is over, I'm just gonna save everything for the review. Haha. What do you think of that? Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Parkway Drive with Deliver Me. This was a request from Connor, and this was actually Connor's prioritized request for the month of September for being a Silver Tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Connor. Hope you enjoyed the show. Okay, I thought about it, took everything into account. I got a score, so let's get to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.3. Yep, 7.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.3. What does that mean? Well, a 7.3 would translate to a really good skill rating because overall, I think it was a really good song. It would also equate out to 4 to 5 stars and a B letter grade. Yes, B as in boy. So there you go, a 7.3, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, the songwriting on this, if I'm being honest, it was pretty simple. Okay, it really was not that hard to follow. The chordal progression was very easy to follow along with. We were in the key of B like the entire time. There was no modulations, there was no change in key signature or anything like that. Even the chordal progression, if I'm being honest, really didn't change a whole lot. We stayed around that B pretty much the entire song. I mean, we did go to the G a few times. Yes, we did go to the minor 6. I get it. We did go to the 3 a couple times, the minor 3 a couple times, but for the most part, we stayed around that beat. And is there anything wrong with that? Not really. There isn't anything actually wrong with that. They didn't do anything terrible. They didn't do anything horrible. But by the same token, am I going to say that I was impressed by that? No, not really. I mean, it's pretty linear in its structure. And there's, and like I said, nothing wrong with that. It's simple. It's easy to follow. It is effective, but that had nothing to do with the chordal progression or the melodic lines. That had everything to do with the play and feel and the play and tempo, which they did, and they did for the most part really well. The change in tempo, I get it. Every time they changed it, they changed tempo a total of 2, so up and down, then 3. So they changed tempo a grand total of 3 times. Okay, I understand that. I understand the reason behind it. I understand why they did it. I have no problem with that. They wanted the song to go faster. Okay, fine. And they wanted to go at the double time, but they wanted to make the double time faster than what was at the slower tempo. So they changed the tempo. They sped it up. I get it. I understand it. It was more effective. Yes, absolutely. It was definitely more attention getting. Not only did we change the feel, we changed the actual tempo. I understand that. When we slowed back down again, I understand that. We wanted to get back down to that heavy halftime feel again. I totally get it. When we sped up towards the end again, just ever so slightly, to go into that straight time feel, I understood that. It made perfect sense. I got no problems with the change in tempo. And for the most part, I had no problem with the change in feel either. They did it really well. They did it very strategically. They did it very smoothly for the most part. There was that one section where we were in that double time feel at the sped up tempo. We were in that double time feel, and then we brought it down, staying in the same tempo, brought it down to straight time for literally 2 measures, 2 whole measures. And that was it. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, that was pointless. It made no sense. It was a waste. I really wish they had stuck around for like 8 measures. Made it more impactful, made it have more of a statement on the song. Have it make a bigger impact on the song. Make it more obvious. Let that change in feel have its time to shine. But instead, it was completely disregarded. It went 2 measures, it was over, and we went right back into the halftime again. What was the point? In all seriousness, we could have just gone from the double time to the halftime. And I'm going to be honest with you folks, I think it would have been more effective. I think it would have made the halftime switch far more effective just to have bypassed that 2 measure of straight time, which was a complete waste anyway. It would have made more sense just to drop into the halftime and make it more impactful. And then when they slowed the tempo down, it would have made it even more obvious. But instead, we threw in those 2 measures of straight time to just kind of throw everything off. I do not understand that. I really do not. It makes absolutely no sense why you would waste your time doing that. But they did it. I mean, it sounded okay. I mean, it didn't sound bad. It just seemed pointless. So it was a waste of effort. And in a way, it did kind of have a negative impact on the halftime feel because, like I said, if they hadn't done it, it would have made the switch from the double time to the halftime far more evident and far more effective and impactful. So, but in any case, I mean, it is what it is. As far as instrumentation goes, everybody sounded fine playing the instruments. Guitar sounded fine, bass sounded fine, drums sounded fine. I like the subdivision work with the 3/16ths that were happening. They utilized those 3/16ths a number of times within the tempo changes too. So it wasn't just like they only did it in that one section. No, every time they went to the halftime field, they were utilizing those 3/16ths. Diddle it, and then we would speed up a little bit, or we would slow back down, or we sped up again. Every time it was there, and it was definitely a contributing factor to the drive of the song, the energy of the song, the feel of the song, the direction of the song. That galloping feel, that diddle it was very evident and very consistent. So it really added overall to the overall presence of the song. Vocally, I mean, it's pure grit and growl vocal, guys. I mean, and you know how I feel about that. I'm not personally a big fan of it. The grit and growl vocal was done well. I will say that it was done cleanly. It was done to the best of his ability from the sound of it. But I mean, there was no melodics in the vocals whatsoever. So I'm not gonna sit here and go, "Oh, that was amazing vocals." No, it wasn't. It was pure grit and growl. Pure grit and growl. But like I said, it was done well. Proper technique was used. I could hear it was being supported. It was done with good power and projection. So while I may not be the biggest fan of it, I find no fault in it. So there you go. So this is how I'm coming up with the 7.3. Not a song I would ever want to listen to again, if I'm being perfectly honest. This is definitely one I would probably skip over, but that's just how I personally feel. Looking at the song objectively, it is a really good song, and that's why I'm giving it the really good score of 7.3. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.3, which is a really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.